You are now entering the world of a movie review. A world full of drama, joy, ridicule, movie spoilers, unpopular opinions, and adult humor for as far as the eye can see. Welcome to an evening at the movies.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite movie review-based podcast. This is An Evening at the Movies, the podcast where we eat the stale popcorn, we drink the watered-down sodas, and discuss all of our favorite movies and why we love them, and even if they're fucked up career path changing. We'll get into this week's episode, or this week's subject when we get there. But before we get to all of that, say hi to everybody's favorite co-hostess on that side of my screen.
What's up, everyone?
Because I'm in a different room and I don't want the damn changing around. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah,
No,
that side
you're
of the
still
screen. You lay down.
Excuse me?
Podcast star, not you.
Like,
Mister, I think I'm a podcast star.
Well, he is. He's a co-star. I'm the star, so he can be a co-star. Sorry. Turn the light. Ooh. Woo! That's bright.
Are you trying to make sure that we see your rosy red cheeks?
Yeah, they're rosy and shiny. Yes. And I wasn't even in the pool today.
What? Are you feeling okay?
Yeah, well, it was supposed to rain, and it's Shark Week, and I've been in a bad physical
Enough said.
So, but I would have gone if I had felt better, and because it didn't rain at all. Fucking weather guys aren't the only people in the world that can be wrong at their job like 60% of the time and still have a job.
Right.
But yeah.
Good times. So, for those of you who do not know, this is the year of the theme. We've had a whole bunch of different stuff that we've discussed this year on An Evening at the Movies. And we are getting ready to start our sixth theme of the year.
Yep. Griffey, calm your tits.
Get up here and lay down, please. Thank you. Now that I'm done being interrupted. So we've talked about some Razzie Awards. We've talked about slept on 80s movies. We've talked about powerful female performances. We've talked about buddy cops. We've talked cop movies / buddy cops. We've talked about kung fu, but
and gun fu
because everybody was gun fu fighting. So I have made an executive decision on the title for this month, and I did not run it by my co-host. But
who told you make executive decisions?
Victor Wembanyama. We'll leave that discussion alone, though. So, whether the co-hostess wants to accept it or not, I'm going to refer to this month as Judge, Jury, and Executioner Month. Basically, because we're talking about courtroom movies all month long.
Alrighty.
And, well, I felt like it is kind of sort of fitting for this movie that we're getting into this week. So,
what?
Guess whose daddy is in the freaking watch party?
I mean, I'm going to assume it's mine. If yours was here, we'd have a whole new set of things to talk about. Rest in peace.
I mean, yeah, but it would be kind of fitting.
I don't see a comment.
He hearted the live stream.
Gotcha.
So
anyway.
So yes. So,
speaking of him, real quick, it's his birthday tomorrow. So happy early birthday, Dad.
And I'll be
Happy
talking
early
about you
birth,
a
happy
bit.
early birthday, sir. I want to make sure I get mine in there too because I don't want to have to go into witness protection like Chansey. And ye old unpopped colonel himself.
Ye old for sure. How old are you tomorrow? Like 75? No, just kidding. 60,
You are welcome, sir.
68?
First of all, I know how old my mother is, and your dad better not be older than my mother.
I
So,
doubt it. I know how old my mom is because she was born in an even year, so it's easy for me to do the math. And then my dad's 2 years older, so it should be 68, or maybe he's turning 69. And I'm sure he'll tell us in a second, or maybe he won't. I mean, it might be classified.
um,
Maths are
yeah,
hard.
I know I got yelled at by you last week because I did not give you the age of Jackie Chan. I just gave you the year, and you didn't want to do the math.
It was like today. I was texting with Megan because I bought something for us off off Taylor's website. She released a thing today, and I bought one for her, one for me, and I sent her a screenshot of the total. And she texts me back and she goes, "How much do I owe you?" And I'm like, "Literally half of the number I just sent you. Why are you asking me to do the math?" Thank God for
And your dad
calculators.
says you are absolutely correct.
Yeah, that didn't
So
confirm
you're
anything,
either
but I see what
correct
you
that
did
he's
there.
not going to tell you, or you're correct in that he's 68.
Or 60 or 67, 69. Anyway, he's my mom will be 66 next month, so my guess is that he is 68 turning 69, but I could be wrong. Either way, not the point of the story. Happy birthday is the point
See,
of the story.
yeah, exactly. Luckily for me, I don't have to worry about doing the math when it comes to my parental age differential because I was born when my mom was 20. So whatever I am, add a 20, and that's how old my mom is.
Well, exactly. My
So
mom was 19, so but she was born in 1960, so it's easy for me to do that math. So anyway,
I don't do years.
back to courtroom, judge, jury,
Yes.
execution, whatever it
So
is.
yeah, judge, jury, executioner. Um. So yeah, we've got liar, liar coming up. We've got
Wait.
dude, brain fart. Philadelphia coming up,
Yeah.
and then we've got my cousin Vinny coming up. But we're going to not hold back, and we're going to get dark and evil really quickly out of the gate this week. So if you have seen this movie, you know what the heck we're talking about. And I know there are some of you out there watching that have seen the movie because you commented along on my updates on when the episode was going to air that, oh my God, I love this movie. Well,
So I
so do we, but
normally
it's fucked up.
don't exactly. I normally don't say this, especially about an older movie. This movie is getting close to what, like 30 years old. But I am going to say it this time. It came out in 1998, I believe. If you have not seen The Devil's Advocate, please stop listening, go watch the movie, and come back because this is a movie that if you have not seen it, I really don't want to spoil it for you. It's that good.
Yeah. And technically, from the information I have, it came out on October 17th, 1997.
Oh, seven. Oh, okay. I was in college. I just remember that. So yeah, that makes sense. So okay, Devil's Advocate. Yay!
Yeah. So, are we ready to get a little bit fucked up?
Very. My bird might
So, and
twitch.
I'm
I'm
not.
just gonna put that out there. There's lots of people to make the bird twitch in this
You
movie.
already forewarned me that Al Pacino, Keanu Reeves, and Hayden Fox himself, your bird is going to be twitching for probably at least the next hour.
And if Delroy Lindo hadn't murdered a goat, he might be part of that conversation too. But officially, I can't condone his behavior. So
I've got opinions, and I forewarned you that my opinion on Delroy is coming up. And I even
Coach
said,
murdered 3 people, and I'm okay with it. But Delroy, I'm like, he killed a goat. I'm out.
yeah.
Anyway.
So yes, but again, I will second what Amanda said, though. This is definitely a movie that if you have not seen, and I'm glad Brandy found a website to 7-day free trial watch it on before
She had never seen it?
Brandy never had,
Wow. Okay.
or if she had, she forgot about it. So
You
this is
don't
not a
forget
movie
movies
that
like
you
this.
forget about when you watch.
No, you do
If
not.
you can see this movie one time and it will stay with you for the rest of your life.
That it will.
Spoiler alert. So, but yes, it. If you have not seen, please push pause, go find it, come back, finish the episode because we're gonna have a whole lot of good stuff to say about this movie. Well, I good is a relative word. I'll leave it at that.
This movie is great. But anyway,
Oh, all right. So, like I already said, uh, Devil's Advocate released on October 17th, 1997. It was directed by Taylor Not Swift Hackford. Uh, was released by Warner Brothers Pictures. It had a budget of $57 million. I'm guessing a good 20 of that went to Pacino.
uh, probably not 20, but I bet in the teens. Yeah, remember in 1997, people weren't getting paid 20 plus $1 million to do movies, usually.
Yeah, but this is Al Pacino we're talking about too.
No, I know. But yeah, the cast, I mean, we're going to talk about it. Fucking stacked all star cast and a lot of big names in this movie. So I'm sure
They
people got paid pretty well.
they may not have had names in 1997 when this movie came out,
But a lot of them didn't.
but if they did not have a name in 1997, they have gone on to have a name now.
For sure.
Whether
For
it's
sure.
Delroy or this is still very early in Charlize's
Yeah, but
career.
Keanu, Pacino, Jeffrey Jones, all pretty big. I mean, Jeffrey Jones wasn't like a huge star, but he had done a shit ton of movies by this time. So
Ferris Bueller and Beetlejuice. Need I say more?
stay tuned.
Well, yeah,
Never sleep on Stay Tuned. He may have been a piece of shit human, but he made some good movies. So
exactly. So yeah, May had a box office of 57, and it made almost $100 million profit. So $153 million.
I saw this in the theater.
I did not. Before we get to the Rotten Tomato game, this is a movie that, for those of you who know that I attempted college a couple of times before I finally got degrees. After one of my
That's
attempts,
okay.
I was tired of, huh?
I said that's okay. You do you.
Yeah. But after one of my attempts, I went into the Job Corps program to get a trade that way because I did not feel like traditional education was the right route for me.
And it's
And
not for a lot of
uh,
people.
no, it's not, and I'm not judging. But yeah, at Job Corps on I believe HBO or Showtime, one of the two channels, was the first time I saw this,
Mm.
and it was I didn't see it from the beginning. I picked up watching
Oh,
it um, with the revelation of Charlize waking up in the middle of the night
oh,
and finding a mysterious baby in her
yeah. Like,
apartment.
I mean, where do you get there? But what the shit?
Yeah, we're gonna get there, but yeah, that's
He's
yeah,
just like,
very traumatic way to start a damn movie.
yeah. This is not a movie you can pick up on in the middle of it. You miss way too much context. But
Well,
okay, so
considering at that point it's like steamrolling from there to all right, we're going home in this movie, and we got all this shit that has to be covered, and bam, 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 bam. But
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely within a couple of days after went back and picked it up and watched from the beginning. So, all right. Um, like I said, for those of you who um, have not seen the movie before, um, I'm trying to find and see if I have the name of the site that Brandy found it on, the 7-day free trial.
Oh, dang.
What?
The plot summary of this movie literally gives away the plot twist. So I'm going to have to just describe it on my own. That's rude. How are you going to give away one of the biggest plot twists of
That's
all time in the plot description of the movie? Fucking AI. I think that's AI.
yeah, that's not acceptable.
We're not doing that.
7-day free trial um, on Howdy.
I've never
Yeah.
heard of Howdy. God damn it.
Neither have
Not
I.
another subscription service.
Otherwise, the easy way is just spend the damn $3.99 and go rent it off fucking Amazon Prime.
It's worth it.
So, absolutely 100%. I mean, it's 2.5 hours out of your life that you're gonna have to sit and watch and pay attention because so many details, so many details.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Rotten Tomatoes?
I gotta flip back over really quick because we're gonna have a discussion about this fucking Rotten Tomato bullshit.
Oh, no. Don't tell me. Damn it.
I have two scores.
Okay.
One of which you're going to be pissed off about, and one of which you won't be.
I'm guessing it's the critics' score. Losers.
You would guess correctly.
Okay.
Based on 66 reviews, the tomato meter gave this movie a
62.
In the words of Maxwell Smart, missed it by
Okay.
65%.
Okay. That I don't like that, but at least I was under. I'd be interested to read what they didn't like about it. I have a few
You can
thoughts.
scroll down and see some of the reviews.
I'm sure, yeah. I feel like this is a movie critics should like. Although there are a few plot holes, so I guess maybe that's I don't know, whatever. I don't care. They can suck a dick.
So, yeah, there are some critic reviews posted on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right, maybe I'll check them out later.
I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole because we'll be here all night long doing that and discussing it.
Yeah.
But all right, so the fuck, I gotta go back now. All right, on 100,000 plus reviews, the audience correctly gave this movie a
86.
Did not miss it by that much.
Okay.
They gave it a 80%.
Oh, that's not high enough. Come on, you guys.
That's better than 65.
It is. That's true, but this is not a 80% out of 100 movie. But okay. All right. Well,
so did this movie win any awards?
Yes. Well, yes. So it did win the Saturn Award for Best Horror Film, which I take issue with because I don't know that I think this is a horror film, but Pacino was nominated for Best Actor, and the writers were nominated for Best Writer, and they got nominated for Best Makeup. It was nominated for a Blockbuster Entertainment Award for Charlize Theron, Best Supporting Actress. MTV Movie Awards, it was nominated for Best Villain, Al Pacino. And I guess it really is a horror movie because it also got nominated for some Fangoria Chainsaw Awards, including Best Wide Release Film. Pacino won Best Actor, and Charlize was nominated for Best Actress. So, I mean, I guess I can see why this is a horror movie. I think the demonic visions and I guess I could see why it's a horror movie. I guess just to me, it's more of a thriller, but I understand where they're coming from.
So, in my expert horror squad member opinion, I feel like this movie is more horror than Silence of the Lambs is.
I agree. And Silence of the Lambs is right there on that line. So, okay.
Yeah. So
The Devil's Advocate follows Kevin Lomax, an undefeated Florida defense attorney who accepts a lucrative job at a prestigious New York law firm run by John Milton. As Kevin obsesses over fame and winning, his wife is plagued by demonic visions, leading Kevin to discover that his boss is not what he seems. Dun, dun, dun.
Edited the preconceived plot description.
Yeah. We edited it to what the boss is. So, okay. So,
I mean, at that point, anybody who's being a rebel and still watching,
we're going to tell you. Yeah.
We're going to tell you. And I mean, it's not like it's a difficult plot twist to figure out.
It's not. And I remember exactly when I figured it out. So we'll get to that too.
Yeah, it wasn't. Well, again, you have to remember, I started watching this movie with probably about an hour left
and
to
no
go.
Context. Yeah.
And no context. So I literally got slapped in the face with who his boss is.
Yeah.
With all that, but yeah,
well, and it's not just one
once you
thing.
Go back
it's
and start from the
things.
beginning and just don't think about it, it doesn't take a whole hell of a lot to figure out.
It's two big shocking things that you find out the boss is. It's not just one plot twist, it's two.
Well, all right. So, all right, let's get the easy stuff out of the way, and then we'll get into the whole in-depth, like deep undercover stuff. So, I want to say this right now, and it's spoiler alert for my top 5. But to me, the biggest thing about this movie that fucking works and works so fucking well is Al Pacino in this role. I'm not gonna say any more about it. You know what I'm thinking, and you're picking up what I'm putting down. Correct?
Yeah, I think so.
So it's so fitting in the way he pulls it off and portrays the character.
Well, before we get into all that, I need to tell my little story, my little anecdote. So I mentioned it a little bit last week, and I think I've told Kasey about this a little bit, but this movie literally changed my life trajectory. And if you're listening to this, you're going, how did that happen? Sometimes things just happen. So for people that don't know, let's start with my dad, since he's here listening. I don't know how long he'll be here. I don't think he'll argue with me on this. We didn't have a very close relationship when I was growing up. He was in the military. My parents were divorced. I saw him a couple of times a year, and, we'd write letters, but, when I was a teenager and stuff, I wasn't interested in that kind of thing. So I was probably a bit of an a-hole about it, but The one thing that he did always do that I grew to appreciate when I got older is he did really always like, I saw it as pressure when I was young, but now I realize it wasn't. He really wanted me to be something. Like he was like, you could be a lawyer. You should be a lawyer. He was like, I can't tell you how many times he told me you could be the first female president. You're going to be the first female president. Like he would really like say those things to me. So, he really wanted me to do something. He really thought I had whatever. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to be a lawyer. I like to argue. I'm good at debating. Um, I'm smart. I think I could do this and do it well. And I pictured myself as like this, savior of, keeping people out of prison. And I don't know why I just always thought I'd be a defense attorney. So I went to college and my major was criminal justice. After I saw this movie, I was like, there's no fucking way I could be a lawyer. Now, if I was going to be a lawyer, I wanted to be in a courtroom. I didn't want to be like a tax attorney or a, law, corporate attorney. Like if I was going to be a lawyer, I want to be in front of a judge, in front of a jury, making a case. And after I saw this movie, I was like, nope, I don't have the soul for this job. And I walked out of that theater and I changed my major next semester. That is how much this movie impacted me.
So
the only problem with that was I had no career trajectory after that, so I kind of fell apart. But sorry, Dad, I'm a disappointment. No, he doesn't think that, but that's all I ever wanted to be. And then I just realized I can't. And I know it's a movie, like before people come for me, I know it's a movie, but the reality of trial law is that you are putting away people who are guilty and innocent, and you are defending people who are guilty and innocent, and you don't get a choice in the matter. It's your job. And once I realized that, I don't know how Kevin slept at night. So this movie changed my entire career trajectory. Thanks a lot, guys. Oh, I can't hear you. It's the thing with the stuff.
really not
There you go.
going too far in the movie with this, but yay, Brandy's watching now. Hopefully, she finished the damn movie. Otherwise, she's going to have it spoiled here in a second.
Yeah, if you haven't finished it, you need to leave. I don't want to ruin this for you.
She's excited because she just got her car back after having to dump almost $1,200 into it.
Ooh, gross. Sorry about that.
Yeah. What is IHHH?
She corrected herself. Look at the next one. It was a typo.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, and that's okay. Spoiler away.
If you say so, but I really, really think you should finish the movie. But I also appreciate you being here commenting. So
yes. So anyway,
okay.
back to where I was going, because we're addressing the whole how Kevin sleeps at night, and yeah, you don't really get much more than 3 minutes into the movie before the attack of conscience literally smacks him in the face. When
Yeah,
he's
this
sitting
movie kicks you in the teeth in the first 10 minutes. Like it is wow.
Not even 10 minutes. I mean, literally in the first couple of minutes of the movie, he's sitting at the freaking defense table next to his fucking client, who's listening to this little, 10-year-old, 11-year-old, 12-year-old girl. Wait a minute. I think they said
I
the
would
movie
say
eighth grader.
yeah, so probably 11 or 12.
So somewhere in that
12,
late
13
childhood
maybe.
into the
Yeah.
teenage years. But anyway, he's sitting there and he looks over at his client who literally has his hands in his pants, pleasuring himself while this child is talking on the stand.
Well, that's not what he was doing, but he might as well have been.
Yeah. Yes, it did. I messaged Kasey.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this
Yeah.
movie like punches you in the gut immediately. And I didn't expect it to go that hard, but you immediately get this sense of, I mean, clearly he struggles with it, but he doesn't struggle with it fucking hard enough to do the right thing. You know,
Well,
like, and not only that, he terrorizes this poor child. Like, I get he's doing his job, but how do you see what you saw right there and still get up there and
this,
make her feel like she's the abuser? Like, I felt so gross in like the first like 5 to 10 minutes of this movie. I was like,
again, I have stuff I want to say about exactly what you're saying, but it also revolves around stuff that I don't want to talk about until we get to the ending.
well, we don't know any of that yet. So it's okay. It's okay to talk about what we're talking about right now and not know what we know later. But you see him have his little
Yeah.
crisis of conscience, but again, and we figure out, what his problem is. I mean, I think we can go ahead and throw the vanity thing in there. Vanity and pride, I think, are his exact problem. And yes, Brandy is right. He was rubbing on the table like he was imagining rubbing on that little girl, and it was disgusting. And even Kevin says, "Here's an idea. Why don't we put you on the stand? You can jerk off for the judge."
No, the jury.
Like, yeah.
Either way, it's still
Yeah. So
he started out willing to stand up for what was right, but you definitely,
in
for lack of a
theory,
better term, in theory, yeah, because he's ended up selling his soul down the river
yeah.
for only
And
to
I,
find
I
out. And this isn't really contributing to the ending, but the whole sicko pedophile thing rears its ugly head again a couple hours down the road when he finds out that uh, the guy he was defending was arrested in Florida with a 10-year-old found in the trunk.
so he graduated from sexual assault to murder. Probably because
Yeah.
that little girl was going to tell on him, and he couldn't go to trial again. That'd be too much. I feel a little bad for that actor because he looks like a pedophile. It was probably not his fault. I bet he's actually a nice guy, but he just fits the bill.
I'm not gonna lie. For the most part, the casting in this movie is really fucking spot on.
Yeah.
Like the pedophile definitely has a pedophile look to him. Delroy definitely has that. What the hell would you call it? Voodoo.
Yeah, like Jamaican underground, animal
Yeah,
sacrificing for religious reasons, which I don't think were
Pacino
Satanists.
has the feel and the look of who he is. We're not getting into that yet. I mean, even Keanu, who initially my gut instinct was like, whatever. He freaking Ted from Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm not buying him as a Floridian defense attorney, but you know,
Excuse me, ma'am. Did I leave my boots under your bed?
Lord.
It's kind of
The,
funny too, because like later Milton is like, the one thing you don't have is like what I have is like they don't see me coming. And it's like, yeah, he can't help that he's hot. Like, what do you want him to do? Like make
I
himself
mean,
ugly?
Well, I mean, obviously your bird thinks that Pacino's fucking hot too, so
Oh, he is.
whatever. Even though
Michael
he
Corleone can get
accuses
it.
himself of being the hand up Mona Lisa skirt.
He's like, she looks back like that guy just fucked me like that. Like, yeah, he's not as hot as Keanu, but like, you know, you're gonna see Keanu coming because he's
He's
gorgeous.
old man hot in Amanda's book.
He is. I think the other thing that worked for Kevin's character in that courtroom scene, the opening scene, is that that girl was extremely unlikable. She was a brat. And clearly the prosecutors did not tell her, don't lie. Like she was completely unprepared for what she was up against. And clearly nobody
Yeah.
knew about the smoking gun, the note that she wrote. But again, being a lot, being unlikable or writing a nasty note about your teacher, that doesn't make you a liar. Like and especially when she said, I just didn't want to be the only one, like that broke my heart because I know that feeling. Like you
How
don't want
many
to think you're
people
the
have
only
gone
one
through
something
what
bad's
that
happening to. Yeah.
child has gone through and, you know, not done or said something because, they didn't feel like they'd be believed or they didn't want to feel like they were the only one or,
Yeah.
whatever the case may be. And spoiler alert, has written notes about the other teachers that he's had like that before. So,
Yeah. So, Kevin gets the guy off, not literally, thank God. And then, this big law firm approaches him. I do love when they're at the bar and the reporter's like, how does it feel to squeeze a man like Geddes through the door of reasonable doubt? Because it's like they all know the guy's guilty, and yet it's just like, the wife's like, we're not going to talk about the case, but how do you sit there and get drunk and just go about your day like you didn't just put a child molester back on the streets
and
and in a
then,
classroom? You put him back in a classroom.
yeah,
Like,
and then literally get up and go to work the next day and welcome the next fucking criminal into your
right.
office because I didn't they say at the beginning of the movie that he had won like 64 straight
64. Yeah.
convictions
Like,
or
that's wild.
yeah, had 64 straight victories or whatever, you know.
So I think the first thing that kind of made me go about the law firm, I mean, I think we kind of get the idea that the big Milton Chadwick and whatever Waters or whatever it is. Like, I think we know they're going to be a shady law firm, right? Like, we've seen enough movies like The Firm and whatever. But to me, it was interesting. And like nowadays, you could not do this in a job interview, but I was very intrigued about why is Milton asking him about his mom? Why is he asking him about like he's really interested in the fact that Kevin isn't religious but his mom is. Like he's really trying to get in like why would that ever be a part of a job interview? And Kevin's just like, "No, you know, I'm on parole,
Well,
early release for time served." Can you take
okay,
Brady's comment down?
cut. Oh, yeah, zip it. Um, it feels like it's one of those moments where once you go back and watch the movie through a couple of times, you really start to pick up on the fact that they try and lead you to the plot twist a
Yeah,
lot earlier in the movie than you think they're
right.
going to.
Right.
Like,
But you wouldn't think that the first time watching it, but it was like a bit of a red flag.
well, yeah, no, the first time through it'd be like, what the hell? But yeah, it's one of those that I mean, I've seen the movie numerous times, and it was probably only 5 or 6 viewings ago when I finally start, oh, and picking up on some of the little details along
Yeah.
the way.
Dude's trying to
So,
figure out what he's dealing with here.
well,
Um so yeah, so Kevin gets the job at the big law firm, brings Marianne back from Florida. Poor Marianne. Okay, I have to say what one of the things about the movie that does bug me is their accents. Keanu's not so much, but Charlize doing that Southern accent, I don't know, it bugs. But
It wasn't the
it
wine.
doesn't wasn't the wine. um, it wasn't enough to take away from how amazing she was in the role. Like she, as she becomes more
Hey,
and more alone and becomes a little more crazy, which we find out later she's not really crazy. It's happening to her for a reason, but she really does a good job of portraying the emotion.
I was gonna say, take the accent out of the equation, and it's definitely a performance that very well could foreshadow the fact that just a few years down the road, she's going to win an Academy Award for playing one of the most psychotic women in history.
You know what? The more time I spend in this world, the more I think Eileen Wuornos was vilified unfairly. But anyway, that's a topic for another day.
I mean, I would have no problem bringing that movie to the schedule and discussing that because
We should.
it's definitely an interesting, and I feel like we could probably get a few interesting guests to join us for that movie that
Yeah.
have a penchant for true crime,
Yeah.
not just Shanna, but
So
no.
it's interesting to me, and I want to know. It's hard to fully discuss this without discussing the big plot twist because, okay, as soon as they get to New York, Kevin's bogged down with work. He's never home, but he also becomes very selfish very fast. Like they go to the party at Eddie's place and she's like, promise not to leave me alone in there. Well, girl, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
But regardless, he does leave her alone, doesn't tell her where he's going, goes upstairs, comes back to the apartment at like, 3 in the morning, something. And he's not even sorry. Like he's just like, no, listen,
No,
I got
I
this big case. I'm defending the biggest real estate developer in the city on a triple homicide. I'm doing this. I got this. I got that. And it's like he's left her in this apartment all day long. She doesn't have a job. He's never home. And he's still all he ever fucking thinks about is himself. And I guess, do you think that the plot thing that happens had any sway over that, or do you think that was all Kevin? I think it's all Kevin. I mean, the opportunities were because of the plot twist, but I think Kevin's behavior was all Kevin, and that's what John was banking on. Vanity.
I feel like it's definitely a case of nature versus nurture. Um, the nature of ultimately the seed was already planted,
Right.
and Milton knew what he had to do to nurture the seed to
But
blossom
he didn't
into
make
the
anything happen. He just planted the seeds and, yeah, nurtured certain situations and presented opportunities. But at the end of the day, Kevin made his own choices. And that's what makes this even so
well,
much more, heartbreaking. Like he
it,
loved his wife. And then immediately, when John says at
well,
the end, Mary Ann, you were looking to better deal her the second you got to New York. He's not wrong.
no, and I mean, again, I'm not going to give away the discussion for the ending, but it all boils down to 2.5 hours of movie, and two words bring it full circle: free will.
Yeah. So, yeah, Kevin made his
So,
choices. And, I get that a lot. I mean, when they go to the boxing match and they go to the bar after, he's like, he's the lead manager, lead attorney at the firm. What am I supposed to do? Tell him no? And I understand that. Like, as someone who
Yeah.
is married to someone with a very busy, high-powered job, I know what it's like to sit at home alone a lot. I know what it's like to be like, "Oh, well, you have to go to this dinner, you have to go to this happy hour, you have to go on this trip." And it's like, "Yes, I have to. I can't say no." But at some point, you still have to prioritize your life and your family and your not just your wife and whatever, but even your own mental health. And
Yeah.
Kevin, I think, was just so wrapped up in the, you know, the glam and the glitz and
It's
the winning and the look how important I am and look how bad these people want me and look how good I am at my job. Me, 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 me.
well, and he's in this powerful career in one of the most um, I wouldn't necessarily call glamorous the right word, but I mean,
Yeah. No.
New
Yes.
York is one of those cities where I mean, it is ritzy, and I mean, all of you've got Broadway, you've got the restaurants, the Madison Square Garden, and
Yeah. As he says
everything.
at the
But
top of the building, lots of potential clients down there. Like, yeah, that's New York is the place, but you wouldn't need it again.
so better.
Yeah.
Okay. So
So,
he makes the comment about all the potential clients down there, but how many of those quote unquote potential clients couldn't afford to hire somebody that works in that law firm?
well, that's fair. And that's what was crazy about the Moyes guy. When they come out, he's like, this guy lives in a shithole and he's sitting on $15 million. And Kevin's like, what? And I love he's like, what do you think he's paying us in goat's blood? Like, so yeah, for the most part, you're dealing with, high powered people with lots to lose, people with lots of money, enter Alexander Cullen, this top city real estate developer accused of murdering his wife, his stepson, and a maid. And, it's like that whole thing, them putting Kevin on it is just like he's not ready for something like that. But to be fair, he does kind of step up.
He steps up and
That fucking guy.
ultimately ends up obtaining the damn acquittal,
Well, because Kevin
even
finds
knowing what he
himself,
knows.
yeah, he finds himself back in the exact same situation he's in at the beginning of the movie. And that scene for me, the gotcha moment there is one of my favorite parts of the movie because I did not see it coming. So Colin's alibi is that he's screwing his assistant. Because after it comes out, there's a prenup that, he could get a lot of money, but if he cheats, he gets nothing. And then, yeah, he's screwing his assistant. So Kevin's preparing her for trial, and he's like, the prosecutor's going to do this, this, and this. So he's just firing away questions, this, that. And then he says, is he circumcised? And
Is
she
he
just stops
circumcised?
because she doesn't know because he's not fucking her and she's lying for him, which again, who would do that? But I was one of my favorite quotes. You've been polishing his knob 3 times a week for 6 months and you don't know whether or not he's got foreskin? But here we
I
go
mean, he's got a
again.
point,
Kevin
and
knows. Kevin knows she's lying. And what does he do? Puts her on the fucking stand
does
anyway.
right after getting the acquittal.
And the crazy thing is, Milton tried to give him an out because what we're not talking about is while all of this is happening, Marianne is slowly, as far as we know, losing her mind. We find out later that that's not what's happening. But girl is going cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. And then she finds out she can't have kids, which is just a whole other, but he's not even paying attention. And Milton, for all the evil that
So
he is, He wants to make sure Kevin is all in because he tries to give him an out, and Kevin says no.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, specific ovarian failure or whatever the hell they called it,
Non-specific. Yeah.
coupled with non-specific, whatever. Yeah, then coupled with everything else that happens, not being able to have kids, and
Yeah. And she's seeing
yeah,
demons.
the
She's hearing
non-specific
noises.
ovarian,
Yeah.
yeah, the non-specific ovarian, whatever. That's where I picked
Failure.
up
Yeah.
the movie from. So I'm
That's
not
crazy.
going into what you see before you get that revelation, but nope, nope, nope.
Yeah. I mean, she's having a induced by
Come
something,
Jesus meeting.
quote unquote, nightmare. But yeah, like girl's going crazy. And Kevin just doesn't give a fuck. And even his mom, his super religious mom, comes to visit. So, okay, hold on. Let's go back for a second. The first time that I got an inkling of what might be happening is the scene on the train where the guys go to attack Milton and Milton starts speaking Spanish to the guy and is like, hey, your wife right now is in bed on your floral bedspread with your friend and he's going to do this. Like, how does he know that?
He's gonna stick it in her ass and she's gonna love
Yeah.
it and blah 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 blah. Yeah.
I love
There's
that
a
he's
whole
like,
long
put
specific
that knife away.
description.
Yeah. Like, put that knife
Or
away.
put it
And I'm
somewhere
like, he's
that
going
you
to go
can't
put that
see.
knife into his wife. That's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
But that's kind of where
And
I
then
got the
ultimately,
first,
probably at the
like,
end of the day, they'll probably take the case and he'll end up getting off.
yeah.
Huh.
And then the next time is when Kevin's mom comes to visit. So we kind of skipped over it, but Kevin's mom is super duper uber religious. Kevin thinks that his father died before he was born, never knew the guy. And that scene where she meets Milton outside the elevator, the way she's looking at him, and then he's like, this isn't your first time in New York, right? And she just like deer in the headlights, and then Kevin answers for her. And I'm like, that's when I really started to pick up on the first of the two big plot twists. The second, that's where I knew. I mean, are we ready to say the first part yet, or do we want to keep waiting?
That Milton is Kevin's dad?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, there it is. Milton is Kevin's dad.
So evidently we were ready to say it because I just said it. So,
well, clearly,
Band-Aid, ripped it off.
Oh, he's not just his dad. There's more to come. But that's where I first was like, yeah. I think where the second part where I really got the other thing that we find out about Milton is the scene where Eddie gets killed, the whole God's special creature speech, like that whole monologue.
Yeah.
With Eddie getting killed by they're like runners, then they go invisible, then they're all of a sudden homeless people with like these ghoulish faces beating him to death, like coupled with Marianne having already seen on her friend's face and like, something demonic is going on here. So what is it?
I mean, the neighbor across the hall likes to get naked in front of Marianne and transform her face and
yeah.
And then don't get me started on that psychotic fucking psycho bitch secretary Pam.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Marianne's seeing all this shit. Okay, you know what? One thing is interesting to me. I wish, and I think it's a plot point that they just like glossed over because nobody cared enough. There was too much other stuff going on. Why would Cullen ever have access to his stepdaughter? He's like, I only get to see her an hour a week, and and I love her more. Like, no, she would be with the dead wife's family or her own father or something. Like, why does he get access to her in any kind of way? But Yeah, we find out not only did he kill his wife, his stepson, and a maid, but he's also fucking his 14-year-old stepdaughter, who went from a little schoolgirl to a Lolita real fast.
Yeah, big time.
When she showed up at the funeral, I
And
was like, that kid's 14?
yeah, again, there's a whole concept of inappropriateness in this movie.
Finding that out was
Just
so disappointing.
that.
Because it wasn't, I mean, yes, he's
Yeah,
obviously an abuser, but like she's also into it. Now, I'm not blaming her because she's 14. What the fuck does she know? But it's like, did they plot it together? Like, did he tell her, I'm going to kill your mom and we can be together and have all her money? Like, when they're sitting at the funeral and he's like, just barely, first of all, bold, dude, to put your finger down the back of her dress with people behind you, fucking bold. But I guess he's like, I've already been acquitted.
yeah.
What can they do to me? Well, you could still get
Double
charged with,
jeopardy.
well, you could still get charged with statutory rape, my dude.
Well,
Or
yeah,
just
because he was
regular
only
rape, because
charged
that's what
with
it is.
he was only charged with murder. He wasn't charged with the other. So
Well, yeah,
yeah,
because nobody knew. Um, but yeah, again, Cullen, just a complete evil monster. And it's, Kevin realizing again, he let a child molester go. Like seeing that, at the funeral, it's like, um,
well, I mean, it
eh,
boils down to the fact that even sitting there and putting two and two together, he sees Cullen morph facially into Geddes, which is
yeah,
the table molester from the beginning.
yeah. I love the funeral scene when Kevin's out there and the FBI guy is talking to him or whatever, and then Milton is inside. This is where I finally figured it out for sure. He's going to stick his hand in the holy water. The smile on his face. He's like, and then the water starts boiling. I think
Yeah.
if you haven't figured it out by now, that's when you figure out what he is.
So since I revealed the second plot twist,
Call
would
me
you
dad.
like to reveal the first plot twist,
Yeah.
or would you like to
What?
hold on and wait till later?
No, we can do it because I think we got to start talking about it. And Kevin's like, "What are you?" Oh, I go by so many names. He's like Satan, but he's like, "Call me dad." Love that
Uh,
part.
so yeah,
Yeah, Milton is the
so
devil, literally.
which
Um,
definitely is probably of the two the biggest plot twist of them all.
well, yeah, the
And
dad and the devil. Those are, yeah,
well, and it's where the fitting name for the movie comes into play then, because I guess Kevin would be the devil's advocate.
yeah. And then sadly, we have to move on to Marianne taking her own life after she tells Kevin that Milton raped her. And he's like, no, Milton was in court with me all day. And yeah, we clearly think she's gone
Again,
batshit crazy.
red
Yeah.
flags all over the place.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
poor Marianne kills herself. And Keanu's acting in that scene. Oh my God, it's so good. It's so good.
well, okay, she didn't just kill. I mean, she was the suicide was fueled by psycho bitch fucking Pam too,
Yeah.
because
But I
she's
don't,
all here. Take a look in this mirror, and then she's sitting there over her shoulder, and she does the fucking creepy demon face
yeah.
transformation, and
And
freaks
then she just
Marianne out,
stands
and
back.
smashes the mirror in her face, and knocks her out of the
Yeah.
room, and then she's, ooh, I got a sharp shard of glass, right in the neck.
Yep. Poor Marianne. And then, of course, that's when Kevin's mom tells him, Milton's your father. Ugh. That whole
Well, yeah,
scene was just so heartbreaking.
well, and it's the discussion with Kevin and his mom is not a short discussion either. They don't. They're like, we're gonna tell you, we're gonna tell you, we're gonna. And they keep having this conversation, and it's like, get to it, lady. We have a
Yeah.
feeling at this point what you're gonna tell him. Fucking tell him. And then
Yeah, like
finally,
we already know.
after his wife kills himself or kills herself, and it's like, he's your father, and it's like, okay, we kind of sort of knew that, and you had to take this long to fucking say it.
And then he's like, he's a little more than that. Yeah,
Beelzebub.
then we got this big giant confrontation scene where, Kevin goes in there to kill Milton. And, it's crazy because, we find out he's Satan, but he's not entirely wrong when he's like, you're blaming me for Marianne. All she wanted was love. And he's not wrong. Like, yes, Kevin was tempted by all of this stuff and influenced, but Milton makes it very clear because he's like, you made them do that. He's like, I can't make
This
people do anything.
is where my statement from earlier comes back full circle. The two words that sum up this movie in a nutshell: free will.
Right. Yeah, he's like, I don't do that. I don't make people do anything. Like, obviously, at this point, I think we kind of realize he's been influencing Marianne's thoughts and whatever. And of course, he probably did go. He even says, like, what does he say? I have it written down because it was so funny. On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the most depraved act of sexual theater known to man, and 1 being your average Friday night run through at the Lomax house, not to be immodest, but Marianne and I got it on at about a 7. Asshole.
Yeah, well, you were a little bit more subdued than Pacino when Pacino revealed it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got him at a 7.
Yeah, it's just, and then you find out the red-haired chick is his sister, and he's like, basically wants them to fuck and give him a grandchild, the Antichrist, which is wild.
Which gets to the ultimate display of free will.
Yeah.
Where
So
the whole conception starts and fuels, and Kevin realizes, I do have free will. He stops and pulls the gun out of the waist of his pants and points it at the side of his head and blows his fucking brains all over the fucking apartment.
And Daddy gets mad. I do like the other thing that he says that he's not wrong about. He's like, God likes to watch. He's a prankster. He gives men instincts. He gives you this extraordinary gift, and then what does he do? I swear, for his own amusement, he sets the rules in opposition. Yeah. His own private cosmic gag reel. And what's he doing?
I would like to believe
his sick fucking head off.
That's not how things go, but at the same time, it's like, yeah. I mean, there's some weird, sick, twisted aspect to theology and all of that. So,
yeah.
I'm not trying to be the person to tell listeners to believe whatever. I mean, believe what you believe, and yay, more power to you. But yeah.
But he's not wrong. Look, but don't touch. Touch, but don't taste. Taste, don't swallow. Like, he's not exactly wrong.
No, and at the end of the day, it's all open to interpretation and you believing what you want to believe. So,
yeah. Okay, so the end. So Kevin blows his brains out, foils Daddy's plan. And then he's back in the bathroom at the courthouse in the Geddes trial. And he kind of like, wakes up. goes back in, sees Marianne, hugs and kisses her, and then um, recuses himself from the case. And if you know, that would probably get you disbarred. You can't just not defend your client. Like once you're that far into a
Yeah.
trial, like you can get into a lot of trouble. Um, and then he's like, I'm doing the right thing. I think I'm doing the right thing. They're going to leave. Good old reporter guy who we find out was Milton, just disguised, comes back and is like, hey, Kevin, I need an exclusive. And Kevin's like, no, no. And then he's like, you know, you're not going to get fired, not when I'm done with you, and blah, blah,
He's
blah. And Kevin goes,
he's fueling the
yep,
fire to get what he wants.
yeah. So he's like, okay, call me tomorrow. And then you see the reporter transform back into Milton
Morph
and
into
says,
Milton.
yeah,
And
vanity,
the
still
last
my
thing you
favorite
hear come
sin.
out of vanity, definitely my favorite sin.
Because he says that to Kevin earlier. He's like, it's not that you didn't love Marianne, you just loved yourself a little bit more. And he's like, vanity is definitely my favorite sin. And again, not wrong. Self-love, the one of the most all-powerful natural opiates. So
Yeah.
this brings me to my 3-part question I have for you. Because
Oh Lord,
think this ending leaves a lot open for interpretation. And I'll
yes.
tell you what I think. Tell me what you think. Okay. So after Kevin kills himself, they show him with angel wings. According to the Bible, if you take your own life, you're going to hell. But since he has wings, so these are the theories. Do you think that because he foiled Satan's plan, even though he did take his own life, do you think God sent him back to give him another chance to do the right thing and change his, trajectory? Or do you think Satan just rewound time, went back to the same time, and is coming at it from a different angle to still get what he wants? And if Satan can rewind time, why did he have, quote, so many children, so many disappointments? Because wouldn't he have just rewound time to get what he wanted until, I don't know. So what do you think? Do you think God sent him
So
back, or do you think Milton just rewound time to start again?
so I actually had not thought of it from either of those two perspectives before. I just chalked it
Oh,
up to um, the adults from our parents' generation probably will understand this metaphor better than most people, but the Bobby Ewing cliffhanger from Dallas back in the early to mid
uh,
80s, that the whole thing was a fucking dream.
I did not think that at all. And the reason I didn't think
But
that is because the reporter morphed into Milton.
yeah,
Because otherwise, yeah, it could have just been
which
chalked up to being a dream.
yeah, which thinking that it doesn't make a whole lot because it's like okay, so ultimately Kevin puts an end to Milton, but then Milton comes back from the dead. What is he, Freddy Krueger?
He didn't put an end to Milton. He put an end to himself. The devil doesn't die. Yeah, he got
That
all
doesn't make
fiery and blew everything up, but he didn't die. I mean, you can't kill the devil, just like you can't kill God. I mean, if we're talking, theologically speaking, and what this movie is about, Satan's always going to be there. God's always going to be there. So I guess I could see where
true.
you're coming from, but I never thought of it that he killed himself. He removed himself from that equation, but Milton will go on to try it again. So I guess it's like, did he try it again with Kevin? Was he able to go back and try it again with Kevin? Or that's what George thinks. George said Satan just rewound time and came at it from a different angle. I don't think that. I think God gave him another chance because he did the right thing.
Yeah. I,
But I don't know.
if I'm thinking about it from those two perspectives, I would like to hope, but to believe that yeah, it's God giving Kevin a second chance to put the wrong things right. To steal a line from my favorite movie of all time. Um, because everything got so fucked up in so many different ways from the start of the movie on till
Yeah.
Kevin blowing his brains out.
Which
That
then begs the question. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just say leads me to my next question. Do you think Kevin actually changed his ways?
Changed his life.
Did he change his trajectory in life? Meaning, was he going to keep being that lawyer? Was he still going to be wooed by, like, let's just assume he can't be wooed by Milton again. Or maybe he can't. Again, I guess it depends on which idea you subscribe to. Because if Milton rewound time, he wouldn't remember any of that. And then he could just follow the same path or similar path again. But if God gave
Yeah.
him a second chance, then he should remember all of that and remember what would happen had he gone down the wrong path. So I guess it really just depends on which thing you believe.
Yeah, and it definitely looks like he's starting to go down the right path by, whatever. I'm this is done and over with. I'm gonna be disbarred. Blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna do the interview and blah blah blah. But yet the reporter keeps pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and he caves in and he's like, "Call me in the morning."
Right.
And it's like, you were headed down the right fucking road, and then you just took a hard left hand turn
Mm-hmm.
to cut back across the median to ultimately corrupting your soul again, motherfucker.
And that's why it's weird because for me, while I subscribe to the idea that God gave him another chance because of what his sacrifice, I still think Kevin followed a similar path. Because at the end of the day, again, was he influenced by his father? Sure. But at the end of the day, he made his own decisions. And Milton even tried to give him a couple of outs just to make sure he was all in. He wasn't giving him an out because he wanted him to take an out. He was giving it to him to make sure he was all in. Like, I get that. But at the same time,
Yeah.
Kevin could have taken it. Kevin could have changed his mind at any time. And I just don't think he's built that way. I think at the end of the day, he's still the son of Satan
Again?
and he still has the vanity, you know? So I don't know. I mean,
Like Milton said numerous times in that movie, free will, it's a bitch.
exactly.
But yeah, no, there's numerous times that he forewarned him, when the shit started going wrong for Marianne after taking the murder trial with Cullen or for Cullen, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm taking you off the case. You need
Mm-hmm.
to, fix your family. You need to be there for your wife. Blah 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 blah." And he's all like, "No, I'm afraid that if you take me off of this case, she'll get better, and then I will hate her for it."
Yeah.
And it's still, he's putting the little seeds of, as much as he says at the end, "I'm not a puppet master," he really, in a way, is still the puppet master. I mean, he's holding the
He is in
strings,
all the ways he can be. Yeah.
yeah, but he's not forcing Kevin to do this and that by pulling certain strings. The free will
Right.
aspect is still there.
Yeah. Because at the end of the day, sorry, Kevin's the one that's like, I just need to finish this case, get through it. Then I can help Marianne. Like he's very much, then I can help my wife. Then I can. No, No, that's not, he didn't tell you that. He didn't put that in your head. That's how you look at your wife and your relationship and your career. Again, he's in love with
Yeah.
himself. He's high on the winning. He's high, when Milton said, "What did I say to you? Maybe it's your time to lose." And he was like, "I don't lose. I win. I'm a lawyer. That's what I do." And Milton's like, "Arrest my case." Like, that's it. Like, yes, he was influenced, but at the end of the day, his free will made
It's
him
not.
make the choices he made, and I think he would make them again.
It's not an excuse for his behavior, but look at who half of his DNA came from.
Well, right, exactly. Oh, that's the other thing. So if Satan can just be out there like a human impregnating people, couldn't God be doing that too? Makes me wonder if there's like half Jesuses running around. And where are they at during all this? Not helping Kevin, that's for sure.
Interesting question.
To me, that's a plot hole.
Huh.
How the fuck does Satan physically go out as a human and work inside the world and impregnate people and do all these things? Like, again, you're using your imagination. Obviously, it's fiction, but yeah.
Yeah. So,
So
I mean, they do kind of sort of off topic, but I mean, it comes into play throughout the 15 years that Supernatural was on TV, where you do have demons playing their role, but then you also have angels pulling their little puppet strings as well. So,
yeah.
but that's a whole another complicated 300 episode long ordeal. So,
Yeah.
yeah, no. So, all right.
Ready for
That
top
was a lot
fives
of
or
information to process. Yeah,
it was?
I think we pretty much covered it all.
I
I
did
mean,
not rank
yeah.
mine yet.
You want me to
Okay.
go while you rank yours?
Yeah, why don't you go first? I wrote all my choices down, but I didn't rank them.
Oh, well, shame on you. All right. So, like I said, spoiler alert. Um, I have top five devils from movies. My favorite devils throughout movies. So,
Nice.
um, I have two honorable mentions and five obvious choices. Honorable mention number one is Harvey Keitel from Little Nicky.
Love it.
There's just something about um, bending Hitler over and turning a pineapple upside down. And woohoo!
That is funny.
And then honorable mention number two is going to be, uh, I guess you could say, loose interpretation, but Leland Gaunt from Needful Things.
Oh, yeah. Good one.
So, number five, uh, shout out to an episode that we did a few months back on An Evening at the Movies, Rosemary's Baby.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Uh, we're going to get a little bit animated with my number four, but it's not necessarily directly a character. I mean, it is a character, but it's the segment of Fantasia called Night on Bald Mountain. If you've seen
Oh,
Fantasia, you know exactly what I'm talking. It's like literally like the devil is the peak of the mountain, and he's pulling all the puppet strings and making the things happen throughout the
forgot
performance.
about that.
So uh, I had two until I was looking for one more spot, and I actually cheated and Googled, and it popped up, and I was like, "Oh, that's actually not a bad one." So
Yeah.
number three, um, Tim Curry from the movie Legend.
Oh, wow. It's a deep cut.
It is a deep cut, but it Tim Curry being pure evil and sign me up for that shit because
Always.
yeah. Number two, I'm torn between number two and number one because for various reasons, each one of these could easily be number one.
Yeah.
But I think um, I'm going to control my hormones, and Elizabeth Hurley from Bedazzled will be number two because that's a hot fucking devil. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. George loves that movie.
Yeah, and then number one, like I was trying to say earlier, but not say earlier. Number one is John Milton from The Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino just encapsulates the perfect sleazy, snarky,
Yeah.
all the grimy, slimy adjectives that you would imagine as the devil. Just, he takes the ball and he fucking runs it right up the middle.
How the hell did you leave off George Burns? He plays God and the devil in the same movie.
Talking
Love
about
it.
being bipolar.
Yeah.
Oh God, you devil.
I used to love those movies so much. All
All right.
right, good list.
So, what do you have for a top five list? Inquiring minds
I
want to know.
Yes, I went with my top 5 movies that altered my brain chemistry, that changed the way I look at certain things in life, um, for whatever reason. So, I have 3 honorable mentions. The first one is Diary of a Mad Black Woman. That movie, like, she just goes crazy the way we would all want to go crazy if our husband fucked us over the way that guy did. That guy deserved what he got. Second one, What Dreams May Come. I just thought, I don't know, just one of those movies that kind of changes how you feel about love and marriage and relationships and all that. Um, oh, sorry, I have 4 honorable mentions. Third one,
Wait a
My
minute.
Sister's
Did you say
Keeper.
Requiem for a Dream?
No. I said, What Dreams May Come.
What was the second one that you said?
What Dreams May Come.
Oh, okay.
Robin Williams.
Oh, yeah. No, that. Yeah.
My Sister's Keeper. That one really, really messed with me, like on a morality level of like, what links would you go to for your children, and when is it too much? And then Pay It Forward. That was just another one that really, like, you know, I don't know. I can't explain it. Just change the way I look at life a little bit. So
long.
I know I haven't either. Mostly because I cannot stand Helen Hunt. I really don't like her. There are only a few of her movies that I'll watch because they're so good. That's one of them. Okay. Number 5 is Sliding Doors. If you haven't seen that, it's an old 90s movie. Not a lot of people know about it. It's Gwyneth Paltrow. And it's basically her life goes in 2 different directions based on one day she makes the train in one scenario and the other scenario she doesn't. And it really makes you think of like how one decision, one missed opportunity, one moment can change your entire life. Number 4 is Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Really changed the way I look at love and relationships, like all relationships, not just romantic ones. And, you know, like, would you want to have something erased from your memory to not, you know, have to endure the pain and, you know, also kind of how relationships can change so gradually that you don't even know they're changing. kind of a wake up call. Number 3 is Gone Girl. That one really, and again, I read the book first, but I should have prefaced this with I am going with fiction here. There's plenty of based on true stories stuff that would work for this. I'm going
Yeah.
straight fiction. Gone Girl really makes you think about how the media spins shit, about how the truth can be one thing and based on games of telephone and what the media tells you and whatever, it can be something completely different. And that's
I'm not gonna
something that
lie.
we all
I
need to think
still
about.
that book is still on my to read list, but that movie fucked me up.
Yeah, yeah. And yeah, like obviously the twist and stuff and all that, but it was more so the way Nick looks so fucking guilty for reasons that aren't even really his fault. Like for stuff that
Yeah.
his wife did and just for the way that he speaks and talks and whatever. Like it just makes you think about what we consume and how we interpret it and not really listening to facts. Along those same lines, number 2 is The Truman Show. That movie fucked me up. Like, what?
Can I guess what your number 1 is when we get to it?
Gee, I wonder what my number 1 is. What do you think my number 1 is?
Hmm. Is vanity your favorite? Definitely your favorite sin?
It definitely is. Yeah, this movie messed with me in so many ways. Not just kind of like again, I realize it's a work of fiction, but making me realize I probably didn't have the heart for the career I was trying to choose, but just it just makes you think about so many different things. Like there's a
Uh-huh.
lot to digest with this movie, not just the law part. So there you go.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that probably is my favorite aspect of the movie is it makes you think about so I mean obviously there's the main plot stuff to
Right.
think about, but it makes you analytically think about things from 1,000 different ways or 1,000 different things to look at in this movie and think about because that's how well put together this movie is.
Well, and ultimately
I
the
mean,
the heart of the story and the real like question mark is how depraved is your own morality? What are you willing to sacrifice
yeah,
for money and success and whatever? I mean, Marianne even says it, we we took all that money, we defended all those people, we knew they were guilty. Like, how much of
hmm,
that can you do before you and yes, it's your job, but at what cost, When they're joking, it's like if you're never going to see your husband, you might as well have a relationship with his money. But when is enough money enough? When does it become not a blessing but a burden, Like how much of your own morality and relationships are you willing to sacrifice for, things that ultimately aren't going to fill your cup at the end of the day? So, definitely makes you think.
all right. So if you were to give the movie a rating out of 5, what would you give it?
Yeah, I mean again, makes you think, emotionally charged, emotionally moving, really makes you question just so much. And it's just entertaining. The performances are good, the dialogue is good. It's just a really, really great movie. I'm giving it a 5 out of 5 voodoo cursed tongues. We didn't talk about that scene, but that scene was great.
Uh,
um, just yeah, it's very much good versus evil and what is your soul worth and just
yeah.
all the questions I think we ask ourselves but don't really ask ourselves enough. So yeah,
So
I love this
before
movie.
I get to mine, I do want to bring up the fact that um, Delroy Lindo. is literally in this movie for what, like 4 minutes, maybe at
Yeah,
the
like
most,
hardly at all.
and definitely captures everything that Philippe Moyes is supposed to be: dark, creepy, brooding, psychotic, voodoo, witch doctor, whatever the case may be. And your dad says so much to love in this movie.
Yeah,
There really
very
is.
much.
Um, like I honestly feel like I won't throw out the whole he stole the movie, but definitely he gets a whole heap of respect from me, considering everything that he put together and everything he portrayed in literally just a matter of just a couple of minutes time. It takes a
Yeah,
special kind of actor to be able to do that, and he's had the longevity of his career that has gone on to be what it's become, and
yeah,
even to the point of getting finally nominated this last year for Sinners.
yeah.
So,
I mean, he doesn't
but yeah,
steal the
like
movie
everything
anyway,
Amanda.
but yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
No,
Just
but
because he's
like
not in it
Amanda
long enough.
said, though, this movie is well adapted. Because evidently I never paid attention to the credits before, but it is adapted from a novel.
I'm gonna have to go read that.
Uh, I don't know if I want to. I feel like if it's a shining thing, then that'll hamper how I feel
Mm,
about the movie going forward. But
yeah,
to each their own. Um, it's well adapted. It's really well. I mean, with the exception of probably Kevin and Charlize's accents, it's well acted, well
yeah,
directed. I mean, it's thought provoking. It's mind fucking. It's everything that you would want from a great movie, all rolled into one. So
yeah.
I'm going to give it um, 5 out of 5 reporter morphing into the devil.
There you go.
So only because I was going to go a different direction with my 5 out of 5, but
Were you gonna go
I'm ready.
babies playing with intestines? Oh, I took yours. I'm sorry.
So spoiler
I
alert:
thought that was like.
next week I'm going first with my 5 out of 5. Damn it! So that
Oh,
you
I
can't
already
incriminate
have
me.
mine picked out. So, okay. Well, I'll let you go first and I'll have a
Zip
backup
it.
just in case because I already have mine picked out for next week.
It's going to be. There's a wealth of different possibilities for next week's episode.
Yeah, I doubt we're going to have the same one,
So
but I do already have mine. Okay. Well, this was
well,
good.
I
This
mean,
was a good discussion, and
we go meet each other a lot, big time anyway.
that's true. That's true.
Uh, so this was a lot of fun. This was a great episode. Again, 5.5 years later, this is finally coming to an evening at the movies. Sorry, people. We love the movie, and I'm glad it finally got its chance to be here. Um, but we can't end the episode as always without thanking the listeners for being here and the viewers for being here each and every week. You guys are incredible, amazing, awesome. All of you are my favorite sin, not vanity, but our viewers are my favorite sin. So
Whatever. Mine's
uh,
gluttony. Give me all the food. I'm just kidding. Clearly,
I'm
gluttony
trying.
is my
I'm
favorite sin.
trying not to think about food because
Yeah, I'm
it's
starving.
dinner time and I'm getting hungry. But
Yeah, let's go eat.
not exactly. So like I said earlier, though, coming up in the next couple weeks on an evening at the movies. We have Liar Liar. We'll be back on Tuesday next week for that one, Tuesday live.
Yeah.
And then the episode will release on Friday because Amanda and I are going to be guesting next week on Masturbators. So when that releases, we will make sure to let you know when that episode, because we're blind ranking horror movies, and
It's gonna be fun.
that could definitely get incredibly interesting. So, and then
And you haven't
Philadelphia is
done
the
one of
week
these
after.
yet. You're gonna like it.
No, I haven't. Well, unfortunately, yeah, work schedules and all of that. I haven't been
Yeah.
available as much to record others as well, but I'm definitely excited to be back on Masturbators, especially since this week Facebook deemed me as one of their top fans. So, and then we'll close out Judge, Jury, and Executioner month with my personal favorite courtroom movie, My Cousin Vinny.
That's gonna be a fun one.
So, yeah, I love that movie a lot. And then, really quickly,
Idea?
not giving not giving you all the details, but something to look forward to. We've got musicals coming up in July, magical movies coming up in August. Obviously, September, Stephen King Birthday Bonanza. October is Halloween Horror Fest. November, movies about animals. And then Christmas movies in December. So there's what you have to look forward to for the rest of the theme of the year. So lots of good
Can't believe it's
stuff.
already June.
And, huh?
Oh, I said I can't believe it's already June. Like, can't believe we're already 6 months
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. It, yeah. It's gone by so fast. And honestly, people, just a little bit of a teaser. Our schedule for the rest of the year is pretty much filled out. We just have a couple of different things to fill in, and I'll know pretty much every movie that we're doing for the rest of the year. So, haha. But I'm not going to tell you until later because both your favorite host and hostess, need to go eat dinner. So,
Yes,
um,
I'm starving.
with that said, thank you guys for being here. Co-hostess, feel free to take us home whenever you are ready.
All right, everyone. Thanks for watching and listening and sticking with us for almost an hour and 40 minutes on this great movie. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope you all come back for an evening at the movies. Goodbye.